Well, greetings, people of the internet. Unky Joe here, Unky Joe's Playhouse. Today, you're going to come with me on another adventure in the day of a life of an IT guy. And today, it's all about my favorite thing to do in IT. Can you guess what that is? Stay tuned. Yeah, so my favorite thing in IT to do, I think you all know what it is. Cabling. Yes, I can't get enough of it. It just fills me with breathless anticipation. No, I hate cabling. You can have it. And I only do it because I'm a really nice guy and my clients pay me a whole lot of money to do it. So that's what this episode is about today. Basically, we're adding 10 new drops, and they're all going to be Cat 6, and they're all going to be home run. This client went out and purchased a bunch of sit-stand desks. Those are the desks that you can sit at, or if you need to get up and move around a little bit, you can stand at them and get all your work done. It's supposed to be a healthier alternative to sitting on your rear end all day. But anyway, all those, so we're going to be packing a lot more computers into a space that's normally only wired for 1 or 2 connections. So in one office, I'm doing 6 new drops. And then what I'm going to do at the end of the video, or at the last part of the video, is we're going to be totally redoing their patch panel. Right now, they have a patch panel similar to this, okay? And if you've ever used one of these fine pieces of engineering, this one's a 24 port, this client has a 48 port. If you've ever had to wire one of these things, you'll know what a misery it can be. All right. Not only do you have to wire it correctly, you have to use a tool to punch down each connection. Then you have to route the wire properly in the back to get it to fit. It can be a huge time-consuming thing. Whereas if you had simply panel inserts to put in here, your job would be done. So that's what we're doing. We're replacing the 48 port patch panel with a keystone jacks in them. And then we're using keystone jacks throughout this installation, all category 6. So we're doing it up properly. And it's time we cleaned it up and made it look a little bit better and made it easier. The idea is if the client ever needs to go in and with my guidance service something, it needs to be neatly arranged so that they can just pull a plug out of one thing and put it into another. This is the same client that we had the 48 port switch fail from Ubiquity. Now all those connections were PoE. This was a PoE switch. Well, let me clarify that. We had 6 or 8 phones that were PoE, and that's about it on that 500 watt switch. But it was 48 port. The problem is I could not get a 48 port switch, PoE switch, to replace that one that failed in a timely manner, and ended up getting 2 24 port switches, which is, it is what it is. It should not affect this network too greatly, but maybe what we'll do is get another 48 port switch. My hope is I can fix this one, find out what's wrong with it, and then put it back into service, and then we'll have those switches as backup switches. But the point is, I want to make it nice and neat for the client so that if they ever need to go in and service it with my help, they can just clearly see where everything is. So this first part of this video, and this is going to be a multi-part video because I've got to go back and finish up some work, is going to be showing you what it takes to run the cables as a one-man band. Well, as a 2-man band. You'll see I had a little help with this install. But, I'm 56 years old, up and down a ladder 30, 40 times, pulling cables. I think we pulled 1,000 feet of cable. And you're going to get to see that thanks to my friends over on my Discord server who were able to capture some shots of me doing the install, going up and down the ladder and pulling the cables down the hallway. So I guess what we'll do is go to those videos now. I'll narrate them as we go along and explain to you what I'm doing. And then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about this client. So I've got the lines. This is the end office, the end of the hall. You can see the lovely view we have of the San Antonio skyline. It's a big office. Big, big, big. They're going to have a total of 6 computers in here. These are the sit-stand desks they got. They picked up for a good price. And of course there are cables all over the place. So this is the end run. You can see down there at the end of the hall, there's some more cables. That's the server room. So I've got 3 poles that need to be brought down this wall. And then 3 on this side that need to be run down where that jack is there. So that's what I'm getting started on right now. So I'm going to get these pulled over. I'm going to get them fished down the wall, hopefully. And I'll report back when I'm done. So back in the day, they had these Cat 3 cables, which were phone lines, so they're not needed. So what I'm doing is I'm tying my Cat 6 cable. And you see how I put a little loom around there with electrical tape. That's to feed it through. And then I'm using the old wire for the phone as a pull string to get it down through the wall. This is my last connection, so I just wanted to show you how we do that before I get started, and then we'll go around after this and start terminating stuff. Alright, so I'm just coming around. The connections are in. We're waiting on wall plates, so I'm not going to do anything with these. We're just going to leave it as is. I do need to clean up my mess a little bit, so I'll be doing that. All the ceiling tiles are back in. The server room is a mess. As you can see, I got all the cables bundled, but I need to make sense of those cables that the other people wired before me, and we're getting a new patch panel. I'm just waiting on that to come in. TrendNet. It's going to be a what do they call those, where you can put the keystone jacks in. So I've wired all these with keystone jacks. They've already been labeled, numbered, tested. All the connections are now live. They're good. So the client will be ready tomorrow when their employees come in to work. As you can see, I got a mess on the floor. The client has told me not to worry about it, but I'm going to anyway. Let's see, we ran a new connection in here, and I need to clean up I need to bring some wire cutters in here. So we ran a new connection there. Here's the old stuff. See, we ran a new connection in here, right here. In fact, I'm going to plug this fellow in, and then in this office I ran 6 new connections. So we've got 3 here. We're not going to use the blue cable anymore. And we have 3 new ones here as well. I'm not going to use the blue one anymore. So all of these should be live. These are their sit-stand desks. I'm going to go ahead and run a vacuum over this thing because I don't want to leave the floor looking like this. It's not right. So I'll run a vacuum and just try to clean up a little bit. And then I'm out of here, and I'll be back to finish all the cables and do the patch panel later. Yeah, so that's a lot of work for an old man. And that's 2 days worth of video. I started on Saturday. I did it on a Saturday, Sunday. So on Sunday I had to go back and climb the ladder some more. That's when I actually finished wiring, bringing the new loom, our new bundle of wires into the server room and getting it all hooked up. Now, it's only temporary the way I've hooked everything up, but I've got all the jacks in. I tested all the cables, certified them, made sure they were all working. And then we had to kind of scrounge to find 10 available ports on those 2 switches. So what I'm going to do next weekend is the patch panel ought to be in, and I ordered some more connectors, and what else did I order? Some other items, SSD I need to install in one of the drives at this client. So we'll make sure we capture that as well so you can see what the finished product looks like. And then hopefully it will look a bit neater. It will be organized a little bit better. That way we can service it a little bit better. Now, the other nice thing about this client is, they got 8 sit-stand desks, and so we ran 10 new connections. Now they delayed purchasing the PCs until they get all the desks laid out, and we decide how many new PCs we're going to need. But these are going to be mini PCs. I don't know whether they're going to be from Dell, Lenovo, or HP. It all depends on price and availability. We're looking to spend, between $500 and $800 per mini PC for the specs we need, and then we'll just go from there. And then of course we're going to need monitors. One thing I noticed about these desks, until they're set up, I made the mistake of lifting myself off the floor by putting my hand on one side of the desk, and it wasn't quite balanced, and the damn thing tipped and nearly fell on top of me. So that was fun. Now I didn't get it on the camera, but you picture it in your mind, if you will. So yeah, you'll be coming back with me on these trips as well as we get this client built out. Now initially we were going to order phones, desk phones for this client, but most of these guys use their cell phone. And if they do need to use a business phone, I just told the client it would probably be easier if we need to have a headset for them anyway for their video conferencing, so why not just use that? We're using the 3CX phone system with this client, and just let them use that headset as and it's a web-based interface for the dialing panel. Let them use that if they need a phone, and eliminate the use of those phones on this network altogether, which kind of negates the need for a PoE switch, because that's why we had it, was for those PoE phones. But I think you get get where I'm going with this. The less is more kind of thing. And frankly, I think those guys will be more comfortable using a headset for their telephone than they would a handset. It just gets in the way, really. These are guys that have to spread out blueprints on their desks and stuff, and the less clutter, the better. So there you go, folks. We hope you found the video entertaining and informative, as always. I know I do. I'm laughing at my own joke here. It's a private thing. Come back and see us again. Smash that like button. Leave your comments down in the comments section. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and click that notification bell to be notified of new videos when they come out. Donate if you're so inclined. We take PayPal, Patreon, and the YouTube join function. Please don't forget to come back and see us again. And don't forget, we'll see all of you on the other side.